The elements of tackling that we talk about, guys, again, as I study this and I listen to people talk about tackling, there are so many different terms. There are so many different things that people talk about in tackling. Guys, I just try to keep this stuff as simple as can be so the players understand it. And these are the 5 things that we talk about. Being able to sprint, gather, strike, drive for 5, and then finish. Those 5 things, man. Sprint, gather, strike, drive, and finish. The sprint means we're going to focus on our target. We're going to close the space, trap the near hip, keep our leverage, and be able to change direction. The gather is simply speed to control. People have different terms. I used to call this shimmy. There's a lot widen and quick in there, a lot of different things, but gather just was an easier term that flowed better for me. It's being able to go speed to power, speed to control, get my near foot up, understanding when do I got to dip to the contact spot and get my arms ready to tight clamp. The strike, again, the contact spot, near shoulder, it's a leverage shoulder. We talk about our eyes to the thigh and then the clamp, the squeezing of the thighs. If the guy doesn't go down, we're going to try to run our feet, drive our feet, cleats in the ground, kill the engine, and try to take the guy to the ground and knock him back. And then the finish, it's taking the guy to the ground. But we just talk about those 5 things, guys. And again, I've heard a lot of tackling gurus throughout all kinds of different things and other things that they, focus on. I just study it. And these are the things that our players are able to sink their teeth into. They're able to understand. They're able to see it. The drill work show up on game footage, and it helps them buy into it a lot more. Tackling situations. Again, this is something, guys, that if you talk to 10 different coaches, you might get 10 different things. I have heard coaches talk about they've got 20 different tackling situations that they look at. Hold on one second. I don't know what just happened to me. All right. There, got it. Sorry about that. But talked to a lot of people, heard a lot of people talk about, 20 different tackling situations. These are the things that we focus on right here. We talk about a frontal tackle, where a tackler and ball carrier are head up. We call it the ball carrier is in the V. If I were going to take my arms and extend them from my body and form a V, if that ball carrier is in the V, it's a frontal tackle. Then we've got a profile tackle. Tackler is approaching the ball carrier from the side. He's outside of the V. We talk about a sideline tackle, an open field sideline tackle with the ball carrier near the sideline. A phone booth tackle, it's a close quartered tackle. A lot of times linebackers and D linemen, maybe a safety fit in the box, where we're not necessarily going to go low. It's still going to be an old school high and hard with the shoulder to the pec. One that I've really gotten into a lot more is what we call the one arm restricted tackle, where a tackler is engaged with the blocker and has to make a one arm tackle with the near arm. Has to try to rip off and detach the arm that he's locking the blocker out with to try to get 2 arms on the guy. But this is a big one for guys in the box, D linemen and linebackers that are trying to press off of blocks, rip an arm, the near arm loose and try to make that one arm restricted tackle. And then the last man where we've got to lay out and try to save a touchdown where we're going to try to click the heels. But these are the tackling situations that we work on. We do work on 2-on-1 a lot, guys. But with us being a leverage shoulder tackling team, those are just natural fundamentals and techniques of tackling. But we do those quite a bit. Before I get into the video, tackling techniques. So eyes to the thigh, that's the technique we use when we're in a frontal tackle situation. It's near shoulder to the leverage side thigh of the ball carrier. A wrap and a roll, it's used in a profile tackle situation. A profile tackle doesn't always end in a wrap and roll, but it does more times than not. A track tackle, this is what we call or use on a sideline or out in space when we're trying to use the sideline as an extra defender. Strike zone, it's when we're going to make a tackle or contact is going to be made with the defenseless player, and it's just a coaching point that we try to use to avoid helmet to helmet or getting a penalty. Pec tackle, which is used in a phone booth. Again, near shoulder to the pec. It's the closest thing to an old school high and hard, and then click the heels, where we're going to lay out and try to click the heels of the ball carrier to save a touchdown.